110 violations. And on top of all of that, our cameras caught something disturbing on camera that even still exists.
Dirty Dining Local 10 investigator Jeff Weinzier tries to get some answers from an owner who doesn't want you to know what inspectors found recently.
We don't know if it was going to be cooked or used for sushi, but we do know it doesn't belong on a filthy, wet, greasy kitchen.
You've probably walked past a buffet thinking it looks safe, clean, and inviting. But what if I told you that some of the most popular chains are actually recycling old food, reheating seafood that sat out for hours, or mixing yesterday's leftovers into today's meals? Today we're revealing 11 buffets that inspectors and former employees say you should avoid, especially if you care about senior health and safety. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video.
11379 Bird Road, inspectors recently found 110 violations here.
Can you just take the steak off the floor?
That bin of raw meat was very close to that piece of fish we found on the floor. 3 full pages of violation after violation. Roaches near a sink and a food prep table. Chicken, beef, pork, ham,
Which ones are hiding dangerous shortcuts behind all-you-can-eat abundance? Stick with us, because what you'll hear will make you think twice before filling that plate again. What if that glittering row of stainless steel trays wasn't a signal of control and order, but a front line concealing a crumbling defense? Buffets portray themselves as temples of abundance, rows of trays promising endless choice with everything within arm's reach. Walk in at noon or near closing time, and the image is the same. Steam rising, plates stacked, variety stretched across long counters. But the system is under constant pressure to maintain that illusion. A manager doesn't see food in terms of flavor or nutrition. He sees cost per tray, holding times, and the risk of patrons walking away if the line looks picked over. To keep the surface convincing, shortcuts become routine, and that's where the danger hides. Behind those trays, the challenge is relentless. A buffet must look full every minute the doors are open, so labor is trimmed to the bare minimum, and staff are assigned to patch the line rather than monitor safety. Replenishing fully with fresh batches is too costly, so trays that still look passable get disguised. Food that should be rotated out is covered with a thin layer of new portions, creating the illusion of freshness. Customers scoop the top while the older food beneath sits longer and longer, drifting into unsafe temperatures.
dumplings all out of temperature. The dish machine was not sanitizing. Food debris, encrusted materials, mold. There was evidence of an employee smoking in a food prep area. There was an objectionable odor in the kitchen. That could be coming.
It's the worst inspection we've seen in a long time, 110.
We show those entering to eat what was recently found inside.
Every operator knows the game, and it's not hard to see why. It costs far less to stretch yesterday's pan than to prepare a replacement. At China buffet locations across the country, this tactic is standard practice. Picture a bin of orange chicken first brought out at 11 in the morning. By 3 in the afternoon, those chunks have cooled and hardened, but a few ladles of freshly fried chicken tossed on top resets the clock in the eyes of the customer. The crisp coating masks the softened pieces underneath, and unless you dig, you wouldn't notice what's been there for hours. The cycle repeats until closing, with trays refreshed at the surface while the bulk languishes in a danger zone. It looks lively from above, but the deeper layers tell the truth. Pizza chains working in the buffet model play a similar trick, but with ovens instead of ladles. At Pizza Ranch or CiCi's, pans of pizza are reheated multiple times throughout the day. The cheese blistering again, not because it's freshly baked, but because it's been blasted a second or third round in the oven. Dough that was dry an hour ago emerges looking glossy, but you can't reheat away the time it has already spent exposed. Those slices sit. They gather bacteria as they cool, then they're simply warmed again and slid back onto the display as if they were brand new. Even stations marketed as fresh can become the most treacherous of all. At Shoney's and Golden Corral, the salad bar is meant to project health, But lettuce leaves do not stand up well to hours of exposure. As the shift wears on, greens wilt, spinach slumps, and bacteria multiply at faster rates in the moisture that collects at the bottom of the trays.
I returned it right now.
We are shocked the state allowed this place to reopen following an ordered cleanup and reinspection and of business and professional regulation. The good news, you now know what's going on behind the kitchen door. In Southwest, that could be coming from this bathroom that was in the kitchen. It was full of standing water and reeked of sewage. What in the...
Cucumber slices, once crisp, begin to soften by late afternoon. Romaine edges brown. Without careful attention, cross-contamination occurs as utensils slip from one bin to another, coating vegetables with residues of dressing or proteins that should never touch. The bar might still look colorful, rows of reds and greens illuminated under chilled glass, but the biological activity creeping into those bowls grows with every passing hour. It mirrors a military front line where resources are thin. The outside is fortified, guards posted, banners raised, but inside the stronghold, the walls have already cracked. Managers push for coverage at the perimeter. Keep the trays looking full, keep the pizzas looking hot, keep the salad looking bright. Even as the core collapses, and like soldiers told to hold a line at all costs, the workers keep appearances even when the reality is slipping. For younger diners, these compromises may pass silently. A stomachache is dismissed, an afternoon of discomfort forgotten. But seniors feel the consequences much harder. A weakened immune system, reduced resilience, and chronic conditions turn a few contaminated bites into a real hazard. What seems like a cheap filling lunch for one diner can become a hospital visit for another. Now the picture is clearer. Food recycling, improper holding temperatures, half measures at the salad bar, and layers of reheating behind the glass. The hidden battlefield of the buffet isn't about abundance at all. It's about sustaining the illusion without collapsing under the cost. And if even the well-known brands resort to these tactics, then the question becomes urgent. Where should families, and especially seniors, go when safety matters more than variety? The danger at these buffets isn't the trays piled high with food, it's the layer of hidden shortcuts that sit just out of sight. Old food disguised as fresh, reheated meals served again and again, and salad bars that quietly break down over hours. For seniors, one wrong plate can carry lasting consequences. The safer choice lies in smaller restaurants where food is made in real time, or in fresh meals at home, where every ingredient is under your control. Protecting health isn't about rejecting abundance. It's about noticing the compromises that turn it into risk and choosing better paths forward.